Welcome to Fortress of Faith with Tom Wallace, calling North America to repentance and revival.
Well, welcome back once again to the Corner of Truth and Courage. You're listening to Fortress of Faith. This is Tom Wallace. Bear with me. I'm still struggling with this cold, and I've got this terrible, terrible cough. I'm going to try to get through this, or hopefully we can edit this out here, my coughing, through this broadcast. Today's Friday, and we're going to get into some of the news. And by the way, we're going to dive into something exciting happening in the Middle East. There is a movement that's going on that might bring kind of a whole piece to the region of the Middle East. It's so listen, stay with us. We hope you will. Let me also tell you some exciting news for Fortress of Faith. Fortress of Faith is now joining Wilkins Radio Network. We've been in talks with them for some time now, and we were exploring an opportunity of getting on a bunch of smaller stations, but instead we've negotiated and feel it's wiser for us to just pick two of their most premium stations. We're going to be in Dallas-Fort Worth on KCLE at 12:45 in the afternoon and 5:30 in the evening. Those are great time slots. And then we're also going to be on Philadelphia on WNWR. And all these have AM and FM dials there. We're going to be at 7:15 in the morning, 6:30 at night. So we're really excited about this expansion for Fortress of Faith. And I want to say thank you to those of you who gave and to support Fortress of Faith so that we can get this message across the nation. And also, we have some good news. Our Turkey tour to the 7 churches of Revelation. We're going to be going to the country of Turkey, flying into Istanbul. We'll be spending time there visiting all the cities that we read of in the book of Revelation. We're going to be going to places like Pergamos and Thyatira and Philadelphia and Smyrna and of course Ephesus. Oh my goodness, Ephesus! You need to understand there's so much about our Bible that's tied to Ephesus. About 13 books of our Bible were either written from there or written to people connected with Ephesus. And so it's just, and it's almost, I've been to Israel, I've been to a lot of places there in Rome and so on. But Ephesus is, biblically speaking, and the beauty of the city and the things you'll see and experience and the things you'll learn that you won't learn in Israel and places there. It's just amazing. And your Bible is going to come alive in so many ways by this tour. And then seeing the grand city of Istanbul, oh my goodness. And the cost is under $3,500. Folks, that's an amazing, amazing price. It's a little bit more than last year. We have seen inflation grow in that part of the country. It hit them very, very hard. There's a saying, when America gets a sniffle, the rest of the world gets a cold. So we've been experiencing inflation over here. We all know that here in America and Canada. But my goodness, other parts of the world too are struggling more. So the price have gone up a bit there, $3,500, but still, folks, that's amazing. We'll fly you from your local home airport, major city, and then we'll all meet together in New York City and fly across, and it's going to be a great time. Hope you can join us, and we'll have information on our website here real soon how you can sign up for this trip. There's only a $350 deposit needed from you to get your seat reserved. And also, another thing, I am heading for Saudi Arabia in February. I'm going to be going over there exploring the opportunity of missions coming into the country here real soon. As I said, there's some exciting things going on in the Middle East, and Saudi Arabia is part of that. Here's the big news. If you're not aware of this, there is a new Silk Road being developed in the world, and it's going to transform the Middle East. And it's going to likely bring peace to that region because Israel is going to be a major part of it. They have to connect with Israel, and they all know it. So these trends are changing. Originally, the Silk Road, as we talk about through antiquity and history, went as far back as way across east to Beijing, Shanghai. Then it'd make a dip south to Delhi into India, and then make its way west to Samarkand and Tehran and Persia, and then Baghdad through Istanbul, and a little dip down into Cairo, into Egypt, and make its way over to Istanbul, which was the gateway into Greece and all of Europe. And when the expansion of Islam grew in the 1400s, the Muslims were stealing and robbing from all these trade caravans and stuff. And so the Silk Road was being cut off. And that's what caused people in Europe to say, hey, we've got to find a new route to India. And that's what brought about Christopher Columbus. And he was trying to find a way to India. Instead, he bumped into another body of land that we know of as the Americas, North and South America. And that's why he called them Indians, because he thought he had landed in India. Trade around the world is huge. It's important in the geopolitical world. And so this new development is called the IMEC, the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. And a key part to this is the Abraham Accords. This was Trump's design to create peace in the Middle East. And all the countries that have already signed up onto it there, the Arab nations that have signed into the Abraham Accords, their economy has been rocketing upwards. And many more people want a piece of the pie. We've talked about this here on our program. This is what brought the war originally there on October 7th. To keep Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince there, from signing the Abraham Accords. Well, now this war is behind us. Trump is now back in the White House. And so things are starting to move again to bring about this new economic corridor from India through the Middle East, and that will take them from India. It'll enter into the United Arab Emirates, through Saudi Arabia, through Jordan, and then Israel, and going out through Haifa, the beautiful port city of the north, a beautiful city up in Israel. Some will make its way by land in through Turkey, if they can figure out how to make it there through Lebanon, if they will sign and join on there, and then into Turkey through Istanbul and so on there. Or by water, they'll make its way through Greece and then the rest of the way into Europe. So this economic corridor is being developed, and it is going to change the Middle East. If you're not aware of it, you are now. And we need to pray for that this will bring peace to that region. All right, other things in the news. Up in Canada, this is shocking. We've been seeing the restriction of free speech in Canada now for quite some years. But now we've moved to a new gear. We've shifted into high speed. This is exactly what the Marxist and the woke crowd, that their goal is not to say, hey, would you just give us a little piece of area to live in peace? No, they want to force on us their lifestyle. And this is what's happened. In the small little town in Ontario called Emo, I don't even know how big it is. It's just a small little town. And they were fined $10,000, and the mayor was fined $5,000 for not flying the LGBTQ flag during Pride Month. It's not just saying you cannot say things against something. No, we're forcing you to do stuff that you don't agree with. And you're just going to have to like it. And if not, we're going to bring pain into your life. We're going to hit you in your pocketbook. So they were fined. The Ontario Human Rights Commission there came after them. Used by the Borderland Pride. This is what goes on in Canada. That you don't have to spend money to sue someone. You just have to say, I'm offended, and use the Human Rights Commission They've done this against other people. Muslims have been doing this, and now the LGBTQ are doing it against people who are not trying to pick a fight. They're just saying, hey, I just don't, that's something we don't agree with, and we don't want to participate with it, and you get sued. And here's what Mayor McQuaker said, and I think it's a fair thing to be said. He said, now, no flag was flown on the other side of the coin. There's no flags being flown for straight people. It's not like we were trying to make a fight here. We just wanted to fly the Canadian flag. We're Canadians. We're not all LGBTQ. So much for freedom, so much for free speech in Canada. Hopefully that nation can be helped and changed. I pray it will. Okay, the UK, United Kingdom, where I lived 29 years of my life, has banned puberty blockers for children indefinitely. After long studies by the government, they have concluded, Dr. Hilary Cass came out with the report, there's no evidence that this is benefiting children, these puberty blockers. In fact, there's more harm than help, and almost all children come to accept their biological sex later in life. It's just an agenda that's being pushed that they think is harmful for children. Well, the Biden administration was doubling down against all this. Thankfully, now we have changed course in this last election. And we'll close with this. The United Kingdom terrorist, that teenager that killed and stabbed 3 little children, 9-year-old girls, stabbed others, but 3 died. He was known to the United Kingdom anti-radicalization authorities. They already knew about him. They already knew he was a problem. 3 times he was referred to the organization called Prevent. Prevent is the official national program to identify those who are falling for terrorist ideologies and so on there. And back when the boy was 13, he was reported to Prevent, and 2 other times he was ordered, put in touch with them or put on their radar back in 2021, and they did nothing. And Axel Rudabakanas, that's the first time I've ever said his name on radio. I don't care to glorify him in any way, shape, or form, but this Muslim terrorist, they knew of his Muslim ideologies. They knew of it all before. And then the government, after the crime was occurred, the public got upset that Muslims are killing their kids, and the government went after the British people saying, you can't say he's a Muslim, and that this is a terrorist attack, when they knew it already. How shameful that was for the Labour Party and for their government and how they've handled all this. Folks, we got to stop selling the lies. We're not buying it. We got to start standing up for truth. Thankful for those like those in Canada to stand up for and reject some of that nonsense. And people need to stand up and throw out the government that is promoting this. All right, that's going to be it for today. Looking forward to you joining me next week and next month at the corner of Truth and Courage. God bless you.